I'm Anthea and welcome to day 4 of the You Nutritional Therapy 7-Day Yoga Challenge. Now we're over halfway through, so I hope you're starting to notice just what a difference a daily quick yoga practice can make you feel. Today I'm going to be taking you through a flow designed to help you build strength in your core and upper body. As always, just work where it feels comfortable. It's your practice. Don't force anything or push yourself beyond a point that doesn't feel good for you. Secondly, keep that breath flowing. We don't want to be holding our breath in any poses. Just keep with that Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through the nose. So we're going to start off, as always, just sitting in easy cross, hands resting on the knees. We'll close our eyes to start with. Just taking a little moment to get centered. And we'll inhale through the nose, letting it all out through the mouth. And again. Now just connecting in with that Ujjayi breath. In and out through the nose, just gently opening the eyes. And then we can start to move with the breath. So we'll inhale, bringing the chest forward. And exhale, rounding through. Again, inhale, coming forwards. And exhale, rounding through. Inhale forwards and just starting to circle round as we exhale, hollowing out the back. And inhale, moving forwards. Just keep that flowing with the breath, keeping the sit bones on the mat. And then moving a few times in the opposite direction. Again, just keep it moving with the breath. And once you're about even on both sides, just coming back to seated. From here, we'll take the hands down to the mat, moving into our tabletop pose. So just making sure the wrists are under the shoulders and the knees are under the hips. We'll start circling here just a few times each side. So going in the other direction as well. And then coming back to our neutral pose. From here, we're going to inhale, reaching out with that right arm and left leg. So really switching that core on. As we exhale, crunching the knee to the elbow. Inhale, reaching out, and again. Exhale, crunching through. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, taking the hand and knee back down to the mat. As we inhale, reaching out with the left arm and right leg. Exhale, crunching knee to elbow. Inhale, reaching out. And again, crunching knee to elbow. Inhale, reaching out and coming back down to neutral. From here, we're going to tuck the toes underneath, lifting that tailbone, just making our way into downward dog. As always, just focusing on lifting that tailbone, pressing the chest to the thighs, and then we can start to pedal the heels down to the mat. So just holding for one round of breath. And then taking the gaze to the top of the mat, stepping the feet between the hands. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, coming all the way up, bringing hands to heart center, opening to Tadasana. We'll move through our sun salutation, inhaling arms up. And exhale, folding forwards. We'll inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands down. Stepping back into plank, coming down to the knees, keeping those elbows tight, lowering the rest of the body, inhaling through cobra, and then exhale into downward dog. Just holding for a round of breath, and then taking that gaze to the top of the mat, stepping the feet between the hands. We'll inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold, and inhale, coming all the way up, bringing hands to heart center, opening to Tadasana. Again, we'll inhale, raising the arms, and exhale, folding forwards. We'll halfway lift. And exhale, hands down, stepping back into plank. Now from here, you're welcome to come down to the knees. If you like to, you can move into chaturanga. So we're going to lower the body, keeping it in a straight line, just as low as your elbows, and then rolling forward, keeping the hips lifted, moving into upward dog instead of cobra. Now imagining somebody's got you by the scruff of your trousers, just lifting up and then flipping the feet over into downward dog. So this is just an option for you if you wish to try it. Taking your gaze to the top of the mat, stepping the feet between the hands. We'll inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, coming all the way up. Hands to heart center, opening to Tadasana. And again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. We'll inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands down. You can even float back into plank this time. Moving down through chaturanga, you can stick to your knees if you prefer. Inhaling through upward facing dog. And exhaling into our downward facing dog. Now from here, we're going to inhale to lift that right leg to tripod. As we exhale, we're going to move through our tiger crunches. So drawing the knee into the chest, we're going to inhale back into tripod. This time, as we exhale, we're going to take that right knee just outside the right elbow, bringing that body weight forwards. Inhaling to tripod. As we exhale, crossing the body, this time right knee to left elbow. Inhaling to tripod. And exhale, placing the foot between the hands. We're going to keep that back heel lifted. And inhale into our high lunge position. So just making sure that the knee and the ankle are in line. Shoulders down the back. Next, exhale, taking the hands down, stepping back into plank. Remember, you can come back down to the knees, lowering the rest of the body. Inhaling through cobra, so our hips stay on the floor here. And then exhaling into our downward dog. From here, we'll inhale to lift that left leg to tripod. And exhale, crunching the knee into the chest. Inhaling to tripod. We'll exhale, crunching left knee to left elbow. Inhaling to tripod. And then exhale, crossing over to the right elbow. Inhaling to tripod. And exhale, placing that left foot between the hands, keeping that back heel lifted. Adjust your feet if you need to. Inhaling into our high lunge. So just holding here. Next, exhale, taking our hands down, stepping into plank. Remember, you can come to the knees or work through that chaturanga. Inhaling through upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhaling into downward facing dog. Just holding for a round of breath. And then taking the gaze to the top of the mat, we're going to come through to sit in easy cross. Now from here, we're going to move through to Navasana or boat pose. You may be familiar with these as V planks, and there's 3 different options here. First option, we're going to be rolling the shoulders back, is to lift the legs and keep them straight. Second option, to make it a little bit easier, bend the knees, keeping the shins parallel to the mat. Third option, just lightly holding onto the back of the thighs. Rest when you need to. If you start to feel that in the low back, just come down. Okay, we're going to do 3 rounds of those, just holding for a couple of rounds of breath. So drawing those shoulders back, almost like you're trying to hold a pencil between your shoulder blades. Arms pointing forward. We'll inhale and lift. And then coming back down to easy cross. Second round. We'll inhale and lift. across. Just one more round. If it feels too much, you can leave this one out. So inhaling to lift. And then release, well done. Okay, from here, we're going to come back into tabletop, tucking the toes, lifting that tailbone into downward dog. Bringing the gaze to the top of the mat, we're going to step our feet outside the hands, lowering that tailbone and coming into Malasana. So hands to heart center. And then exhale, taking the hands down to the mat. Now from here, we're going to step that left leg back. We're going to keep the knee lifted. So we're in a kind of modified lizard pose here. I'm just going to turn around so that you can see where we're going with this. Okay, so keeping my hands pressed firmly into the mat, I'm going to step that right foot halfway down the mat, rolling onto the outside of my left foot, just taking my left hand to the center and reaching up to the ceiling. So this is our modified side plank. If you want to take it to the full expression of the pose, we're going to stack the feet on top of each other. If you like to take it further, you can always lift that top leg and then coming back, stepping down, just taking that heel back up, and then we're going to push off that left leg, coming back into Malasana. So this time, we'll take the hands down to the mat, stepping that right foot back, keeping that knee lifted, and then we'll take that right hand to the center, stepping that left foot halfway down, rolling onto the outside of that right foot, reaching up, taking us into that modified side plank. For the full expression, we'll stack the feet on top of each other. It does make it more challenging when you look towards that outstretched hand. And for extra challenge, lifting that top leg. So from here, we'll step back, taking the hands down, and we'll come back into Malasana. From here, both hands back down to the mat. This time we're going to step both legs back, coming into plank position. So really just switching on those core muscles. And then coming down to the knees, lowering the rest of the body. Now from here, we're just going to reach out a little bit further with the arms so that the shoulders and elbows are in line. From here, we can tuck in the back toes and just lifting up into what we call dolphin plank. So just holding here for a few rounds of breath. And then coming back down to the knees, lowering the rest of the body. We'll take the hands underneath the shoulders, inhaling through cobra. And then from here, we're just going to take the knees apart, sinking the belly between the thighs, taking the forehead down to the mat, whilst reaching forwards, coming into child's pose. So hopefully you started to feel the upper body and core muscles working a little bit more today. Well done, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 5.